In this video, I will go over creating a table. It's the same thing as creating the chair, but this is kind of like just in addition to making the chair, also make the table. These kinds of projects, I do it because doing it once, kids are not going to be able to remember how to do it again. They need to do it over and over to remember how. But yeah, so here I just have one leg. I'm going to duplicate this. Maybe I'll do a long table. I'm going to select both of those, duplicate them, snap them back in, and then move them over here. And I'm just eyeballing this, so maybe something like that. I'm going to select this, and just to go over this part again, instead of clicking on the cube and having to deal with moving this up and moving my camera and all this stuff, I can just click and drag and move it on top of this, and it just places it for me. So I'm just going to, click that. I'm trying to pull the top part over here towards me, but I can't because this blue arrow, it's kind of tricky. So remember that you need to move your camera, get a better view of this, and now you can select that. It's a very common mistake that I've seen, so be aware of that for the kids. So here's my table, and I'm just going to move it maybe a little bit out like that. So I have something simple like this. I'm not trying to be precise, but as long as these two pieces are touching, then it's fine. This will not print. Make sure pieces are touching. So my table is done, and it's fairly simple once you know how to do it, but first timers, of course, not going to be able to do it easily. But when the kids are done, I usually say, okay, well, what else can you add to a table? Well, you can add a plate. So, well, actually, I'll do a cup first. So here's this, and I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to scale it in. I'm going to move it up, and I'll just pull this up a little bit more. And I can't see through this obviously, so I'm just trying to eyeball how the thickness for this bottom part. So next I will just go to edit, subtract, and I have something like this. And why not, I'll add a handle. So I just have this torus or donut, and I'm going to rotate this. I want it to be exact, so I'm going to type in 90, enter, and I'm going to, where is it, rotate this direction to 70. I'm going to scale that down, and I'm going to move this in, so I have something like this. One thing that I should have done is I should have done the handle first and then hollowed out this cup, because then I could have easily used that same shape. So I'm going to have to kind of eyeball it. Luckily for me, I didn't do much in terms of changing the shape or the size of the cup when I imported the first time, so it's pretty much the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it down a little bit, but this time I am going to actually select both of those things. Nope, not that. Move them up here. The reason I do this is because whatever this blue thing is going to touch, it's going to cut, and I don't want it to cut this, so I'm just going to subtract. So now I have this, move this down, and I don't see it there, but I know that it's going through this material anyways, so that's fine. So I have this, and maybe it's a little too low, maybe it's a little too high, maybe it's a little too big, but I'll just keep it simple like this. And but yeah, so now that this is done, I'm going to group that together. I can go to Paint, Color, select whatever color I want. I'll maybe do this purple, violet, whatever it is, magenta, and then I can scale it down and move them over here. Object, duplicate, put that there. Select both of those, duplicate both of those, move them here. Duplicate that, move that here, duplicate, something like that, and maybe I can rotate them that way they don't look too fake. But I can always go back into Insert, go to Add, and I just want to bring in my chair that I made from earlier. So here's my chair. Where is it? Here it is. Rotate this exactly 90. That's good enough for me. And then I'll just move this here. And just to avoid them being the exact same colors, I'll go to Paint, Color. Maybe I'll go with yellow. Whoops, separate objects. That's fine. So there I have that. So here I have my chair, but it's not all in one piece, so I'm just going to group them. And there we go. So anyways, I'm going to duplicate this, rotate that, that's good enough, and then duplicate this one more time. Whoops. Rotate this. That's good enough. And notice that I am moving my camera so I can easily see the arrows. That's very important. Without that, it would be much more difficult having to deal with these, and I would accidentally select something that I didn't mean to, and things like that. So now I have this, and but yeah, so, and then I can add some other stuff too if I wanted to, like plates or whatever. But yeah, with saving these separately, I can easily import them and bring them into other projects and things like that.